So last week we talked about Lana Del Rey's surprise wedding to Jeremy Dufresne. He is a swamp alligator tour guide in Louisiana, and now she is with her Cajun king. He is a good old boy living in the bayou, and she had this very casual wedding. Nothing flashy. She wore a $400 thrifted wedding gown, and there were no professional photographers. There were paparazzi taking drone pictures, but that was it. It was a very intimate affair. And since then, it has caused a lot of discourse about what it all means for the culture.
If the word discourse is used, I'm already disinterested. So.
And what does this say? What does this forecast for dating for the rest of society who are not celebrities? Particularly this one tweet went viral saying Bella Hadid moved to Fort Worth for her cowboy BF and Lana Del Rey married an alligator tour guide. Huge cultural shift happening. Dating rappers and metro actors isn't cool anymore. We are returning down to earth again.
Not to invoke a name that will maybe raise some ire, but Andrew Tate had a tweet recently where he mentioned that he was being incisive here, but he said, women tend to have a hard time understanding that the exception doesn't disprove the rule. Just because I went to Iraq by myself as a woman and didn't die doesn't mean all women should go to Iraq and travel.
Right.
The exception here does not disprove the rule. There are still plenty of women dating, metro men in Hollywood. It's all I'm saying.
Yes, in Hollywood. But what does this say for the dating trends of ordinary women?
And does it even matter, given that what we actually should be talking about is whether it affects normal people?
Especially with this impending collapse that everyone keeps talking about. You're going to need a strong man with, he's got some calluses on his fingers.
The joke is,
he knows how to operate an airboat and fight alligators.
The meme for the last 3 or 4 years since Biden took office was like, women, you need to start seriously wondering whether your man has warlord potential.
Exactly.
That's the question.
So that's what Lana must have been thinking when she selected Jeremy Dufresne to be her starter husband.
Is that what it was?
Let's take a look at this video of him, just to give you a sense for who this guy is and what interests him. He has a full-on Cajun accent, by the way.
Hard to hear him, but...
There she comes.
He's got a sense of humor.
Did she make the video?
No.
Okay.
So that's your
He's a local
little
celeb.
right? So, because actually your little baby gators are starting to hatch out the eggs right now, So we might be able to run across some little new hatchlings, But usually the mating season for your gators is like springtime, so April into May. Now usually mid-June is when your females actually will build their nest. And that's all they do is scrape all the mud, sticks of vegetation together and make a big old giant mound. Then whenever they drop the eggs, they open the top, they can drop anywhere from 10 to 80 eggs in the nest. Now you have 2 months incubation time with eggs in the nest, so mid-June to mid-August. He feisty though.
How many?
5%.
He's pretty likable, right? Yeah, so this is what he does for a living.
Is this like the New Orleans version of You May Fascinate Her with a Wheel of Cheese?
Exactly.
You may fascinate her with a baby alligator.
She went on one of his airboat tours back in 2019, and that's where they forged a connection. And she must have been just so charmed by his expertise on alligators.
I guess.
He is a camo-wearing, Cajun, Southern good old boy who is unvaccinated. He's voting for Trump. The list goes on, and a lot of people are pissed off about it. I don't know if I agree with this take from Evie, but they published an opinion piece on it, claiming that Lana Del Rey's marriage shattered hypergamy and the wall, and it's a white pill for all of us.
Tear down that wall, Mr. Gorbachev.
Lana got married at 39 years old in a $400 dress to an alligator tour guide named Jeremy Dufresne. Here's why that's a white pill for all modern day romantics.
Well, what they mean is here's the white pill for all modern day romantics who happen to be wealthy singers.
Well, they said Lana has always romanticized a gritty vintage version of America in her songs. And now she has married a man who fits seamlessly into that narrative, just a little swampier. What I'm telling you is we're seeing a total disruption of the hypergamy narrative that dominates certain male-centric corners of the internet. They mean the red pill ideology. And it's a white pill moment for women everywhere who have been told their desirability is gone the moment they turn 30.
Okay.
That's a big claim.
That's a very, very big claim. I mean, we've had conversations with this before where there is kind of this narrative that once you hit a certain point, you're used up and you're no good anymore. I don't think that that's true. I think that the internet would like that to be true. I think the real world is a lot less sensationalist than that.
There is...
And this isn't even a fair comparison because she's a rich singer anyways. Okay? She could look like the worst thing in the world and some dude will marry her if she's worth however many millions of dollars.
So you think Jeremy is a gold digger?
No, I don't think that. But I'm saying that her case is not representative of the general public.
Well, I think that they're highlighting it as an example of everything that the red pill ideology would tell you is impossible in the modern dating scene. Which
the only one who can screw this up for her is herself. Like if she's not happy and like if he's happy in the marriage and she's not, then she suddenly starts doubting whether what she has is authentic. Like
definitely this could age very badly if they end up getting divorced down the line. But it is just, you know, this is the first time that people have seen her in this context. She's never been married before.
Yeah.
So maybe it's something that's going to last. We don't know.
We would love that.
They say the wall is tumbling down. In red pill manosphere culture, there is a long-standing obsession with the wall, the idea that women lose their looks and appeal after turning 30 for various reasons, but mainly because of their supposed lack of vitality and fertility. According to this mindset, women over 30 are basically out of the dating game, at least when it comes to securing a happy marriage. Because red pill reasoning says that no healthy masculine man would ever want a woman who isn't young, fertile, and impressionable. They don't say it that bluntly, but that's the main idea, that the older the woman is, the more life experience she has, plus all the pesky opinions and preferences that come with it, and those should be avoided at all costs.
But don't they also say that men today are no longer masculine anyways, so why would that matter?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of incongruent ideas in there mixed together, and it sounds coherent in a punchy tweet, but not necessarily applicable in real life. And I think that's the point they're trying to make, is that, you know, there are a lot of people saying that exceptions don't exist, and they do. They do exist. But they say Lana at 39, along with a growing number of women, has completely blown that idea out of the swamp. Not only is she just as beautiful as she was when she was younger, she is arguably even more attractive now. Is the wall in the room with us?
The other thing is, though, is that this actually might have more comparison than you think of, because we talked about yesterday. It's known now that women are out earning men at jobs, and they're graduating college at higher rates. They're owning homes at higher rates. Single women are owning homes at higher rates than men. But there's also that, have you ever seen that, like, that video, like, screenshot that went viral? She's like, I'm 39 years old. I cook yummy food. I own my own home. Why doesn't anybody want me?
And she said, I don't have kids, too.
And I don't have kids and nobody wants me. It's like, look, I don't even know if that's real. You'd have to go back check and find out whether that video is actually true. It doesn't take anything to just take a still of someone and then put some text over it. I have no idea if that's actually true or not. But these topics always end up being very, very good algorithmically, because there's nothing the internet loves more than to pit men and women against each other.
But I think the most attractive thing about Lana Del Rey is that she has this air of mystery, and she's very vulnerable in her art, and she is not glory seeking. She happens to be famous by a twisted unfolding of events in her life. And it's intriguing that she's as successful as she is while trying so little to chase after that success.
Yeah.
And it seems like she has retained this very feminine softness over time that I think would be very attractive to a man who isn't familiar with her public persona.
Yeah.
So it seems believable to me that they actually do have a connection, and he wasn't just trying to like gold dig her.
Probably hard for her to find a dude who's not, going to act different than he normally would once he finds out who she is and knows that she's famous, she's worth money, she's a star, all those things will change how a person acts around you.
They also talked about hypergamy in this piece, saying, if you've been anywhere near the red pill dudes online, you know the drill. Women are supposedly programmed to marry up, seeking men with higher status, wealth, and power. But Lana, with her millions, awards, and insane artistic prowess, married a guy who gives alligator tours and drops anti-vax takes online.
He's
and we
also
love that
a millionaire. He's also a millionaire. He's also a very successful business owner.
Do we know that, though?
That's what the one.
I know he owns a business,
he's a
but I
very
don't.
successful business owner.
Yeah.
But the point being that, again, the exception does not disprove the rule that that a lot of women aren't going to settle for a dude who's doing way worse than them. This is where they start getting into the talk about marrying the cashier and all, where men, people in that sphere talk about marrying the cashier. But, look at the records of the women in Hollywood, right? Are they marrying men with no status, or are they marrying men who work in banking, or are they marrying men who work as producers who make lots of money, right? The exception does not disprove the rule, and I don't necessarily think that it's fair to broad brush everyone with that. But, looking to build resources for a better future for for the family you want to build isn't unrealistic.
Well, they were trying to frame this part as a white pill for men in the dating scene.
You too can find your rich celebrity wife. Guys, I'm going to let you in on a secret. It's not going to happen.
That's not what they're saying.
Okay.
They're saying, and by the way, men don't care about having a successful wife. So what they're saying to those men is, you don't need to meet this list of arbitrary benchmarks in order to find a wife, because look, she didn't care to find someone who was higher status than herself. They said this guy is a little above average in looks, very old to be getting married, relatively low status compared to her. She has a net worth of, I think, 30 million. If that's accurate, I don't know. And he's from a group/culture that is constantly mocked and thought of as stupid bumpkins, not glamorous. But he has his life in order, knows who he is, and knows how to make a woman feel safe in a relationship. He's a grown-up and knows how to be a man, which is getting rare, and that's where his value is. She already had all the money and status she needed. What she needed was a man who can be a man. There are so many things you can do to increase your value to women. Black pillars, BTFO.
So he does meet all of the benchmarks.
What benchmarks?
Like all the things that they just described. He's got his life in order. He's confident. He can offer something to her beyond just money.
Well, the point of listing those benchmarks is that it goes beyond just money, and it goes beyond just looking like Lucky Blue Smith. Like, it's not just about money and looks. It's things that are entirely within your control that you can do to develop yourself as a person. And that's the white pill, is that it's attainable if you choose it.
It's an interesting discussion. I don't know how applicable it is to the average everyday person, but like I said, as we enter a time period now where women are out earning men, building more resources than men and graduating college at higher rates than men, seem to be doing better. Maybe it might be applicable to women in the future. I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of language about, you should lower your standards and you should settle, but the constructive idea behind that actually is that you should improve yourself so that you are, deserving of someone that you want to date. Like that person that you have in your mind, you can improve yourself both physically and mentally and also financially so that you can be deserving of that person that you want to be with. I think that the self-destructive mindset is like, I'm never going to get any better, so I might as well just settle for someone I don't like that much.
Well, yeah, but that's the other end of the spectrum. There is the person who thinks that they deserve more but does nothing to improve themselves.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that actually ends up being a bigger problem now, is a lot of people constantly searching, constantly looking for something just a little bit better, not realizing that what you have to focus on is you and the rest will come.
Or at least you would hope. I don't know.
You would hope.
But here's the dark side to all of this that kind of leads me to discredit the entire opinion piece.
Okay.
Is that the way Lana and Jeremy Dufresne ended up together was quite messy. Yeah. And he has a past and he has baggage of his own. He has children. Mm-hmm. He has an ex-fiance now who he broke up with relatively recently and, forced to move out of his home. Mm-hmm. This says ex-fiance of Lana Del Rey's alligator tour guide husband reacts to their wedding saying, "I'm in shock because we were engaged for 12 years and he got married after 1 month. He is deserving of this blessing."
Damn. Hit him with the kill him with kindness routine at the end there.
Engaged for 12 years and he leaves you after a month for a pop star. Like, that's dark. That's really dark. And it's not telling the happy fairy tale wedding. It's not telling the fairy tale wedding story that opinion piece was trying to tell us, right? Someone got screwed over.
Yeah.
And their kids. So it's not as pretty and tied in a bow as they made it seem. This says Lana moved into the home which he previously shared with his ex-fiance Kelly Welsh, and the pair have since had all of Welsh's belongings put into storage, and Welsh has been banned from visiting, despite being the mother of this guy's children. Jeremy told Kelly Welsh that she was not allowed to go over to the house after he got together with Lana, which was very upsetting to her. Her biological daughter, Alana, still lives there with Jeremy, who she considers to be her father, but he never adopted her. What is confusing is that Jeremy's ex-wife was always at the house with her new husband. They were one big blended family. So for Kelly to not be allowed doesn't make sense. Jeremy expressed that Lana was jealous of her because of their long history. So when she moved into the house, they took all of Kelly's belongings and put it into storage. And Lana was especially keen on ridding the home of Kelly Welsh's crystals. She told Jeremy that the crystals carry energy and she needed them gone. She just wanted to start a new life with him and didn't want any pieces of his past, especially with his ex of more than a decade.
There was only a few red flags along the way.
Yeah.
This would make a fantastic movie.
And there are still naysayers, people who feel like Lana is marrying down and she doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know the consequences yet. They're really hoping she got a prenup because they see divorce as inevitable. They think that Jeremy Dufresne is trying to control her.
Take that money, King. Just divorce her.
The rumor is that as she's been out and about in New Orleans with him, with her new husband, she's not allowed to take photos with fans who approach her because he doesn't like when she takes photos while they're out.
Very
obviously,
controlling of
there's
him.
a safety aspect to this as well.
They're going to call him controlling for that.
Exactly. He's being called controlling and abusive, and they don't even know who this guy is. He's just a rando off the street for all they know.
Yeah.
But they'll find a way to tear her down. And now Lana has publicly commented on it, saying, "Unfortunately, a local couple won't stop flying drones into our windows every morning and following us with a tracker." And she called out 2 specific paparazzi in New Orleans, asking them if you could stop switching vehicles following the family and stop following us around remote parts of the country and photoshopping my wedding ring, I know I would feel a lot safer. All that being said, Jeremy is the one and only and amazing, and we're very happy.
Over under on how long it lasts? Not to be morbid.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.